Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, so, and I'm just going to go through the outline of it. And so in Exodus 16, we see there was, God said, listen, I'm going to produce manna, I'm going to produce quail, I'm going to give you this providence from heaven. So that in and of itself is the void, you know. And then we have the command to go out and collect the bread for 6 days. So creation, we're collecting activity, collecting the bread for 6 days. And then on the seventh day, I want you, no bread. There's not going to be any bread available. And we see in the passage that some of the Israelites still go out and they attempt to collect bread. They attempt to collect their heavenly bread, which is not there. We talked about last week how what the problem is when we go out and when we try to force something, when we try to make something happen, when really the season is for us to be still, is we're looking for something that's not there. We're looking for insight that's not there. We're looking for an answer that's not there, because it's not the season to get the answer, it's the season to be still. It's not the season to solve your problem, it's the season to be still and to be silent, to rest. And when we go out pushing it, seeking an answer, seeking insight, seeking resolution, what we do is we pick up something that really isn't from God, but we just pick it up because we want an answer right then and there. So we pick up bread, but it's not God's daily bread. We pick up insight, but it's not God's insight. We pick up things, but it's not from God, because it wasn't meant for us to receive anything in that moment. It was meant for us to simply be still. And all of that prior to was collecting. So we didn't get to this last week, but we see that in the example of Moses is leading the Israelites into the desert, and they begin to complain against him. They begin to grumble against him and say, "Look, we don't like this food. Why are you doing these things?" But Moses makes a conscious decision to refuse to let those vibrations shape him. So what does Moses do? When people start grumbling, Moses goes back to the voice of the Creator, aligns with the Creator. And then, I love this, Moses sends all those complaints. Look, talk to God about that. You're not complaining against me, you're complaining against God. He connects to the vibration and responds, and he refers people back to the vibration. Now, I lifted this up on Wednesday, but we have to, from a metaphysical point of view, we have to look at this thing that don't get so caught up in if people don't like you. Because we have to understand that from a metaphysical point of view, if they don't like you, their problem is really with your Creator, not with you. Because you didn't create yourself. Now that doesn't mean we can't be fine-tuned or calibrated, or some things in our lives don't need to be pruned. But never take it personal. What Moses did, you're complaining against me, but I'm sending all your words and vibrations right back to the Creator, and you deal with that. So he refused to be shaped by the vibrations of the grumbling. He connected to the vibration, and then he refers people back to the vibration. So this is how we should be living our life, being very intentional. All these things, whether it be sleep or eating or our conversation or our worship, all these things should be helping us to stay connected to the voice, the vibration, and not allowing any vibration that's not grounded in God's love, peace, and patience. Anything that's not grounded in that voice, we don't absorb it. We don't allow ourselves to be reshaped and reformed.
I just want to ask you, so if the vibration is you go to work and you're fired from work, so that's obviously a big vibration. So you're saying even in that experience, if you're still connected and still listening to the voice, that won't overwhelm you.
Well, yeah, I mean, because if you go to work and you get fired, now you have no choice over that, but you do have a choice of how you respond to
That's
it.
what I mean.
Yeah,
Your
exactly.
response to it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be overwhelming. Nothing has to be overwhelming. And people, the more we stay connected to the vibration, the less other people's vibrations will impact us. Yeah.
One of the things that you see is that, people, you can say, well, I'm going to stay with God's vibrations. Okay, with God's vibrations. But you never were with God's vibrations. That man would have led you. That's why you got fired. You were, I'm with God. Well, I'm going to stay with God's vibrations. Well, the vibrations you were following were not God's vibrations.
Yeah,
So you can't automatically assume that you're following God's vibration and the other person is bad.
Yeah, that's true.
You
That's
know,
true.
'cause sometimes, as they say, you know, 1 out of 3 people is like a jerk, and look to your right, look to your left. If they're pretty friendly people, then you're the jerk, you know, so you know, you have to stop and say, God's vibration, where are you? How do you know when you, and that was the question, how do you know when you're with God's vibration versus some other noise?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
You have to
That's
discern
true.
that.
That's true.
Yeah.
And that's a question, and that goes back to the very beginning of everything that we do has to have humility in it. It has to have humility in it. Because if we assume, we go around assuming, I know I'm in the void, I know I'm in the vibration, then we're not, we just took ourselves out of it. And everything we do has to have humility in it, because you're right. There's always more that we can calibrate too. There's always something we could be missing, because this void can never be captured. It can never be captured. Done. Yeah.
Okay, so I get it. It makes sense to me.
Mhm.
My question is, because I have like mega things and I want to quiet them all.
Uh-huh.
They're individuals, so do I try to shut out them all, or do I need to have a Moses model with each one of the issues to quiet and then go to the next, or do I need to just should I be trying to shut down everything?
Mhm.
Or is it okay to work with those, because it's like I'll be going through the course of the day and I'm doing okay, and then this problem will come up.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, I don't get with that, I can't do anything about it, but wait on God. So am I doing that individually, or am I just trying to shut out everything all at once?
Well, I don't think you should be shutting out anything. I think it's not about shutting out. It's really about shifting. I think that's the better metaphor.
Okay.
Shifting, and then I would say instead of focusing on the individual issues, I would say cultivate a rhythm, and that rhythm will start to spill over and help you deal with the individual issues. So I don't know what. So let's say you know, in your daily rhythm, do you have one day or one moment or one time of communal worship where it really connects you, it really stills you, allows you to have that internal stillness, that that trust, that surrender? Are you in a 24-hour rhythm in which you have some stillness, some silence? Because when you cultivate that rhythm, all your issues are not going to go away, of course, but that rhythm will spill over into how you start dealing with those individual things.
Okay.
And that's the real.
Okay, and that's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
Because it's like I can't, but the shutdown instead of shift, that did it for me right here. Because I don't sleep at night.
Don't tell me that.
I'm just being honest. Because I'm sitting and I'm listening and I'm like, well, I try to go to sleep and I'll lay there and I'll look up, I'll read scripture, because they always say if you read the Bible, the devil will fan you to sleep, that's what my mother always says. So I mean, I try everything, and I mean, I'm drinking ashwagandha before I go to bed. It's just all of these
Why can't you go to sleep? Because your mind is racing?
racing.
Send me an email. I'll send you a meditation thing. That's what I work. I work with people. I help people go to sleep. So I mean, I'll send you something in 10 minutes. You're gone. You're gone. You knocked out.
That mantra that you said really helps me.
You said what?
Maranatha, like to repeat that mantra.
Oh, okay.
I just stick with it, and I notice that because I had trouble sleeping like she does, my brain just, I make myself just go right back to that word, and then after a while,
What word is that?
Maranatha. That's the Aramaic for Lord come.
I always wanted to know that.
Mm-hmm. That was the language of Jesus. So, and you're coming to the meditation group. You'll learn some principles of the meditation group on Saturday too, for help sleep. But if you send me an email, remind me. I'll send you an audio. I'll send you audio.
Yes.
Yeah. It'll be real short.
How do you spell that?
But what? But what we'll see, and we're going to get into this later on in the class. We'll get into some of the Jesus models for meditating, and what we realize is that all of this is meditation. We've been trained in negative meditation, and the key is to really shift from the negative meditation to the God-centered meditation. Because what you're doing before you go to sleep is meditation. You're just meditating on your worries, your stresses, whatever. So the question is, how do you learning a technique or learning a lifestyle rhythm in which you shift from the negative meditation to the positive meditation? Road rage is meditation. That's meditation. That's negative meditation, but that's
Why do
meditation.
you say it's meditation?
Because you're thinking about something that someone did to you that you don't like over and over again.
Right.
And whatever you think about over and over again is a state of meditation.
Immersion.
That's meditation.
That's meditation. Anything that you think about repetitively is meditation. Period. So worry is meditation, anger is meditation, lust is meditation, they're all forms of meditation. So Jesus' model for meditation, which we'll talk about extensively, is all based on recognizing that you're in a negative state and then shifting to that God-centered state. So it's not about shutting, it's about shifting. Okay?
One quick question. Because they collected for 6 days, like you see the 6, but the previous slide, was there a point to put in the 666?
What was the point? Was the point that when I put the 666?
No, like,
They
went out and tried to collect.
You say, oh no,
They went
well,
out and tried to collect on the day that they weren't supposed to.
right. Well, yeah. Well, because the 666 means that you're stuck in the motion of activity.
Oh,
You're
okay.
stuck in the motion of doing over and over again. So yeah, but I know the reference. You're talking reference to Revelation. I didn't even plan that. That just came out. The Wednesday class picked up on that. So are there any questions on this? I wanted this to be a very practical day. I want us to see how we can put this in our lives, because really understanding this Genesis model is really the key to unlocking the religion of Jesus, and it's the key to really unlocking a powerful a way to kind of really live into the power that Jesus was calling us to live into. So is this class, this approach help you kind of flesh out how this can be applied to your life?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. Good. So we'll stop right there. We'll stop right there. We're good. So we'll talk about the struggle next week. We'll talk about the role of the struggle in the religion of Jesus. And then we'll be able to shift after we look at some more biblical models, looking at more in depth in how does Jesus live this out.
Are you going to start with the scripture that you backed away from?
Yeah, I'll start with the scripture next week.
That you had on
Genesis.
Yeah.
I'll start with that. Any questions? We good?
The thing that you were talking about that you had sent us, did you send it to us right after Tuesday?
Yeah, I sent it whenever I sent out the notes. I sent out the notes. It was the notes. It was the vibe prayer,
Okay.
and it was the that was it. Sure, we got time. Sure. Let's go over the vibe prayer before we go, because we still got time. Yeah. I still got 7 minutes. Okay.
7 minutes.
So, matter of fact, let me see if I can pull this. And I sent it to everyone. Some of y'all just maybe have selective vision or something, or I don't know. I
Pay
did.
attention to another bit.
I
It
did.
was also at the end of the email, there was an attachment.
Yeah, it was at the end of the meeting. It was an attachment. That was the end of the meeting. So y'all have no excuse. Y'all have no excuse. But I will send it out again. I will send it out again. Okay, so the vibe prayer comes from three. It's based on recognizing or noticing the vibrations in us. So in us. So we can just start with. We can just practice it and do it. Just do around right now. So if you turn. You actually don't need. You can turn it in whatever way you want. Just make sure that your feet are firmly planted on the ground. And your back is to your chair. So in a moment, I'm going to invite you to experience 3 sounds. And I'm going to. The sounds are ki, sim. So we're going to go through those sounds, and I'm going to begin the sound, and when I begin the sound, just jump in and say the sound as long as you can, allowing yourself to not just hear the sound, but to feel the sound. Feel the vibration of the sound, feel the rhythm of the sound. And we'll see which one works best for this group, and we might just stay with that one. So feet firmly planted on the ground, back to your chair. Taking a deep breath in. Taking another deep breath in. Noticing the vibrations in your body, your hands, arms. Noticing the vibrations in you, around you, moving through you. Allowing yourself to become one. The vibration of your Creator. Master of all that is good and true, create us anew in your word, in your sound, in your vibration. Amen. So how did that feel? Good? Good?
Notice you repeat each sound twice.
Mhm.
Is that a significance in the both times?
No significance, not for that exercise. I just gotta get a gauge of what different groups can do different sounds better. The deepest sound for this group seemed to be key. That was the deepest sound, yeah. Some groups is ah, so it just depends. All right, y'all look nice and relaxed. Good. Not too relaxed, so you gotta drive home. So stand got your arms up in the air. Yes, sir.
Okay.